It's the Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coach's Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's on 1019 100.5, 1450 WGNSSports.com and Big G TV.
And this portion of the show brought to you by the law offices of John Day, providing superior legal representation to injury victims and their families. Find out more at johndaylegal.com. John Ding is back with you, along with Coach Kevin Creasy of the Oakland Patriots, who I don't want to jinx you, but you keep rolling along so far. So far, so good, right?
That's right. So far, so good.
Pearl Cone, those teams like that always scare me. You know, they usually have a lot of speed. And what was it like last night? How were they?
Yeah, you know, Pearl Cone wins all the time the state championship in track and field.
Yeah.
For a good reason. And, you know, I think they have a good coaching staff. A lot of guys, you know, played at Pearl and have come back and coaching for them. And, you know, their established program, make it deep in the playoffs every year. But I think the difference was, you know, we kind of captured the momentum early and kind of got things rolling our direction. And, you know, once it got to rolling, it was on. And, you know, I give credit to our guys that, you know, didn't just look at an 0-3 record. You know, Pearl Cone should have beaten CPA. They should have beaten MBA. And so they got handled pretty good by BGA. But at the same time, we weren't going to take them for granted, and I think our guys showed up. And like I said, once we got the momentum rolling, it was really good.
You've kind of had the same prototype the last three games. It seems like off to an early start, defense clicks in, and you put some points on the board, and a coach loves to see that. I don't know but one game, and the one I was there was a game where it was the CPA game, but that's a good blueprint for success if you can do that all the time.
Yeah, always good to have a quick start. You know, we really kind of stalled inside their red zone, had a bad snap, and it led to us not converting a 3rd down and 3, and so we end up kicking a long field goal. And, you know, Jose Hernandez is one of the best kickers in our region, and he nailed it right through the upright. So we took a 3-0 lead, but, you know, they felt pretty good about it because they stopped us from getting in the end zone. But right after that, our defense came up big and, you know, made those guys punt. And Craig Tutt ended up taking the punt return back for a touchdown. And that's like our 3rd or 4th special teams touchdown already this year. You know, played 4 games, and I think we've had 4 special teams touchdowns. So a lot of credit goes to Marcus Bryson, our special teams coordinator, who does a good job with our punt block team. And so everybody thinks that we're going to try to block it, and we end up sending up a return that turned out to look real good, and turn right back around later in the game, and we kick a surprise onside kick and recover that. And 2 plays later, I think we score. And so, I mean, the game's essentially over at that point.
You've got several things to me going for you. The special team play has been great. The defense has been great. They made turnovers, like you said, 4 scores from the defense. That sure takes the pressure off. Particularly, you've got young quarterbacks, but it takes a lot of pressure off that offense when you get help from the defense like that.
Oh yeah. You know, we've got youth all over the place on the offense, and I think we've got 1 senior offensive lineman. We're starting a freshman offensive lineman. We've got 2 really good sophomores that are playing for us on the O-line. We've got a good junior that's starting at left tackle. So, you know, we've got a lot of youth, and then you throw in the 2 quarterbacks that are both underclassmen. You know, we need help from special teams. We need help from the defense, and you know, they've provided that the last few weeks. And you know, I'll say this: I give a lot of credit to those quarterbacks. They kind of spread the wealth around. I think we had 5 different guys score touchdowns.
Yeah.
So that's kind of hard to pinpoint exactly where you're going to try to, you know, stop the offense whenever they can disperse the ball, you know, so equally. And you know, it's pretty cool to see that there's a lot of different weapons out there and a lot of different ways to score. And ultimately, you I'm proud of both quarterbacks, celebrating each other's, successes, instead of just being bitter competitors. They know they're making each other better, and they better play well because we could always just make it a one quarterback deal.
Exactly. I'm it's really worked out well. So it's like a two-headed monster. I mean, Cam Morton was 8 of 10 for 141 yards and 2 touchdowns last night. And I've seen, but when you have two, I think it puts a little fire in both of them, doesn't it? I mean,
yeah,
and
it
good
does.
Competitiveness, though.
And that's the thing about it. Cam threw his first touchdown last night. Like I said, had 2 of them, but Dante's already had 2 or 3 touchdown passes, and then he had a touchdown run last night. So now I'm sure Cam's going to look forward to trying to pull one down and run it in too. So yeah, they want to bring out the best in each other, and then of course they want to compete. And if they weren't made out of the right stuff, they wouldn't want to be the only one playing quarterback. I think they need to be the one that is trying to make this a no contest and make sure that they're the only quarterback. But right now we got a good problem. We got 2 good quarterbacks. They can run the offense really well, and like I said, right now it's been pretty efficient, and both of them are dual threats, so that makes it a whole lot easier on the play caller.
Kevin Creasy, our guest here on the Coach's Show, and Coach, of course, they're following a really good quarterback. You know him very well, and gets you to a state championship. And are you surprised at how well they're playing, though? I mean, because they're pretty young. I mean, are you surprised at that, or did you kind of have it in the back of your mind that they would be as good as they've been so far?
Well, so far, they've not had a lot of adversity. You know what I'm saying? I think we've given up 1 sack all year, so that helps. They've got a tremendous amount of weapons, I guess you could say, different people that they can get the ball to. Didn't exactly have that last year, so we've got several guys out there that can make big plays running the ball and catching the ball. So, like I said, it's going to be curious to see whenever those two get a little more adversity, a little more pressure in their face, and whenever they run it, they get stuffed behind the line a few times, how they're going to handle it. And so those days are coming, we just got to get prepared for it. But ultimately, a lot of times we get better by going against our own defense in practice. So, week in and week out, we see a really good defense, Monday through Thursday. And so that kind of helps prepare us for Friday.
I want to mention a few names, if I may. Brown had a 17-yard touchdown reception and 4 tackles, 2 for loss. That's another one of those defensive guys that can contribute on both ends of the ball, right?
Yeah. Michael Brown's one of our better players. Right before that, he scored a 15-yard touchdown that was called back for holding on the perimeter, and we got to get better at that. But they backed us up a little bit, and he scored the very next play as well. So he's a dual threat guy.
Yeah.
As far as playing offense and defense, he's one of our most valuable guys on offense. He's one of our better players on defense, and he's what we call a white jersey guy. So we got our two-way players in white jerseys in practice, and there's only about 4 or 5 of those guys on an entire squad of 100 players. So you got to be pretty special to wear a white jersey.
Dante he rushed for 29 yards and a touchdown. He was 2 for 2 for 32 yards. Don't want to leave him out on the two-headed monster I'm talking about. Trayvon Jackson, 5 tackles and 2.5 sacks. That's been huge, hasn't it? His play.
Yeah, the pressure that our defense puts on the quarterbacks, just seeing them week in and week out, just coming up with new and improved ways to pressure the quarterback is tremendous. And then, at one point in the game, they had negative yardage rushing. The week before, held Smyrna for a half with negative yardage rushing. So if you make it where they can't get yards running the ball and you force them to pass, that plays right into people like Trayvon Jackson's hands.
I've got more. I've got a couple more here. Giovanni Malone, 2 receptions for 68 yards and a touchdown. And then Craig Tutt, of course, I guess I mention him every week, had a 32-yard punt return. That's, to me, his biggest asset to me. Of all the things he can do, and he does all of them well, he's so good with special teams and returning punts and, covering. I mean, he can do it all, but I want to throw his name in there as well.
Yeah, Ole Miss commit, and just a smooth player. He's another white jersey guy that plays both sides. And the thing about Craig is he didn't have to come practice much on offense because he knows everything that's going on. He even plays Wildcat quarterback for us. So
Yeah.
if we needed him to, he could play full-time quarterback.
Yeah.
He's just that kind of athlete. And you mentioned Giovanni Malone. He's just a sophomore, so had a big touchdown catch last night. So yeah, he's young. I don't even know if he's got his driver's license yet. So the future's looking bright for sure. And we just got to get these young guys understanding that this thing gets a little more pressure, a little more like a pressure cooker. The further we go into region play.
Yeah, region play is here, and you've got I think Siegel. I think you go there, right?
Yes.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about Siegel. They are. I don't know if I want to say surprised because Coach Renshaw does a good job with his teams every year, but they have come through with some big clutch wins for them. They're 2-0 in region play, and to me, they're just I call them like take the lunch pail and go to work. They're like construction workers, They just do their thing, not necessarily fancy, not flashy, but effective.
Yeah, a lot of times teams are a reflection of the coach. I think that's kind of Coach Renshaw. He goes to work. He doesn't complain. He goes, about his business every day, showing up. And, I think he kind of knew this bunch he's got is going to be kind of special. And it started with a win at Cookeville. That got my attention for sure. I know Cookeville gave Gallatin a really good game last night. And, they were a formidable opponent in the playoffs with Riverdale just a year ago. So they're a well-coached team, and Siegel took it to those guys. And like I said, beat Smyrna last night, so we're familiar with Smyrna. We're expecting, the Battle of the Boulevard to be back the way it was a while ago. And, it's a rivalry game, but most importantly, it's a region game. And the way we look at it is, we don't check out all these polls or anything. Right now, they're 2-0 in the region, so they're in first place, and we got to make sure that we leave there at least tied for first place.
And so it begins, right?
Yep, that's right.
It's the stretch,
you
stretch
look at
drive.
our old region from last year.
Yeah,
they're doing pretty good. If you look at the record of our old region against the guys that went west in the playoffs that got added to our region, I think we're doing pretty good.
Maybe the best in the state, really. Seriously, yeah. Coach, hey, good luck next week, and we'll talk to you. All right?
Thanks.
That's Coach Kevin Creasy, the head coach of the Oakland Patriots. This portion of the show brought to you by the law offices of John Day, providing superior legal representation to injury victims and their families. Find out more at johndaylegal.com. We'll be back.
This is a paid legal